The purpose of this video is to answer the question, what is Moodle? And to give you an idea of why you might consider using it in your class. Moodle is often called an LMS. That stands for Learning Management System. It is also often called a CMS, which stands for Content Management System, or sometimes Course Management System. These are some pretty fancy names, but what's really important here is what Moodle can help you do with your instructional practices. So let's just call it an online classroom. It's a place on the internet where you can move many and maybe even most of the resources and activities you have that currently only occur in your classroom. It's a secure and protected place so students can safely access those resources as well as interact with you and their peers. Let's look at some specific examples of how Moodle can be used. And we'll start with getting an assignment. So you'll see a sample Moodle course here. This is just sort of thrown together to give us some things to demonstrate. It is not intended as an exemplar for instructional design. So just know that as we move forward. So here we can click on a link which takes us to a page where I could add more instructions, or as is shown here, just a link to the actual assignment, which in this case is in PDF. So we're just going to click on the OK button and open up the assignment. And there it is. Next, let's look at turning an assignment in. Again, we come back to our main page, go back to this assignment which we earlier opened, but now we're going to actually locate a file on our computer to upload as our submission for this particular assignment. So I find the file and I click upload. I now see that it's there and now it's uploaded. If I want to add notes, I can type them right in here. This would be a way to communicate with the teacher about your assignment. Here we're just going to say that I have self-assessed using the rubric which was included in the assignment. Then I click the Send for Marking button, and that's how I communicate to my teacher that I'm finished with this assignment and that the files that are uploaded there are the finals that should be evaluated. Next, let's look at watching a video lesson. So here we are on our main Moodle page, and we're going to move under the Lessons heading to this link entitled What is Historical Thinking? And this is a link to a video I've put there for students to explore the concept.
Think historically? What's that? You may have heard the term but been puzzled by it. We're all familiar with historical stories. We learn them from our textbooks, popular histories, movies, documentaries, and grandparents and neighbors. Historical thinking is the reading, analysis, and writing that's necessary to tell these stories. It's not only what we know about the past,
Here,
it's how
the lesson was a YouTube video created by teachinghistory.org. There are many other sources of video lessons, however, such as Discovery Education, LearnZillion, TeacherTube, Khan Academy, and more. You can also create your own video lessons without needing to be too technologically savvy. We have some how-to videos that will help you learn to do this if you don't already know how. Video lessons are very helpful for a variety of reasons. First, students who did not grasp a concept in your live and in-person lesson can access video lessons as a form of reteaching, and in those lessons can rewind, pause, and rewatch as often as necessary. Second, these lessons allow students to go back and review concepts that have started to fade over time. Third, if you are able to deliver instruction through video about as effectively as you can deliver it live and in person, then you can let your videos deliver instruction while you invest your time in target teaching, such as supporting groups as they practice the skills taught, reteaching in small groups or one-on-one those students who did not grasp the skill from the video lesson, and helping fast-moving students explore deeper concepts related to the skill. You've probably heard about the concept of flipping your classroom. This typically means students watch a video at home and then practice at school. Moodle provides a platform for managing this, but don't limit your focus just to that approach. In addition to the things I just mentioned, reteaching, reviewing, and freeing you to target teach, Video lessons can also be a way of allowing students to move through the curriculum at different paces because the lessons are all there, except for any lessons that really need to be live and in person. Now let's look at participating in a discussion. So we're going to go ahead and click on this debate link and read the instructions that I'm supposed to debate with my peers about the 3 geographic regions of North Carolina. And I'm going to advocate for which one I think is the best. And notice that there's already one post. So I'm going to open up this post and I'm going to read what this person has to say. And this person is advocating that the coastal plain is the best region of North Carolina for these geographic and cultural reasons. I hit the reply button and now I can type my response directly into the discussion thread and advocate my position, which is the mountains are the superior region. Alright, so now let's look at signing up for a topic. This might be if you have a certain number of topics that you want students to research and you don't want to have everybody sign up for the same thing, then I can use this tool, which limits the number of choices per topic, or number of people who sign up for a topic. So the student has clicked the link, they've come in here, they're reviewing these options that they can sign up for. Had people already signed up, that bottom screen down there would have shown who had already selected it. We're going to choose the Lord's Proprietors, seeing there's one space available, and save my choice. The results screen is showing which of those topics have already been chosen, and there's my selection, Lord's Proprietors. Alright, let's move on to taking a mastery assessment. And this is perhaps one of the biggest reasons to use Moodle is this testing capacity. So we're going to click on an assessment and attempt the quiz. There's a lot to say about assessments that I'm not going to try to fit into this, but just know that you can ask lots of different kinds of questions as well as set options for how many attempts students get, the ability to give immediate feedback and let them attempt to make corrections right away, for example. So what you see here are just 3 types of questions. The first one is a matching question. So here I've got answers and topics that have to be matched up. The second one, which is pretty neat, is a close question where I'm actually embedding questions inside of text. So here we are selecting the correct answers, which in this case are social studies, but it could also be verb tense or something like that in language arts. The third question is a long answer. So we can present students with an essay prompt and they will type in their answer. Okay, now let's look at building a wiki. This is, if you're not familiar with wikis are a place where students can create their own web pages essentially and communicate back to you or to other students their learning. So in this case, we've opened up the wiki link. We're going to click this little button here that's going to give me a larger editing window, which could actually be expanded to full screen. And I think the topic I signed up for was the Lord's Proprietors. So here I'm just going to demonstrate my research, to show what I've learned. And let's say I want to put an image in. I could type my text here, and I can add an image. If I have an image saved to my computer, I can just upload it, or I can go out to the web and search for an image and paste the URL back in. So go right out to Google Images, I type in Lord's Proprietors. Here's an image that I want to use, so I'm going to navigate to the image and I'm going to copy the URL, go back to where I inserted the image, find that big editor, there it is, and now I go back to my image and I just paste in the URL for that image, click OK, and my image will show up, which is pretty big. And this is kind of the convenience of a wiki, is the students can resize, move around. It's sort of like Microsoft Word. It's not quite that powerful. Once I've saved it, then I have a wiki. And again, this could be viewed by the teacher or by other students. Next, let's do some survey feedback. This is where the teacher wants feedback from students. So let's say we're taking a field trip and you want to know where and what we're interested in. So we click on the survey link, read the instructions, click to answer the questions, and which place should we go? I'm going to select Colonial Williamsburg. You want to know what's more important? Well, food is more important to me than a comfortable bus ride. And I need to choose who I want to be rooming with. So I'm going to put in names there. And you want to know what else is important. I want you to know that I love museums, but I can't stand gift shops, to the extent that that factors into what we do. Now let's say that I or my parent needs to download a form to go on this field trip. So again, you can just go right into Moodle, click a link that the teacher has put there. The link takes me directly to a form. You can see there in the corner it's downloaded. But depending on your browser, you'll open it in different ways, but that's how you would get to it in Firefox. And there's my form. And then last is accessing curated resources, and this could be anything. The idea here is just that you can use Moodle to aggregate lots of things that you want people to have ready access to. So here, for example, maybe I have some note-taking templates that I want to make available to students. So it's as simple as putting those in Moodle and they can download something that they could handwrite on. Or let's say that I want to put some links out to web resources, web content. Here in this example, I've just given one link to a tool that organizes lots of web links. This particular tool is delicious. A lot of people like Symbaloo. You could also, in Moodle, just put a link for everything you want to use, but I think that there are probably other tools that are a little more flexible, and this way you can just put a link in Moodle to that tool so your students don't need to know what all the different tools are that you use. They just need to know Moodle, and then you can link from Moodle to the various tools out there that you use. It really simplifies navigation for students. So that is a highlight of the tools available in Moodle. It does not include all of the tools, but it does include those that are the most commonly used. You wouldn't necessarily have to use all of these tools, and you probably would start at the beginning with just a few you're comfortable with and then slowly grow into the others. Now that we have an idea of what Moodle is, let's see where it fits into the triangle Guilford County Schools uses to organize thinking about personalized learning. In our personalized learning triangle, Moodle fits under Flex the Environment, specifically the Anytime Everywhere digital space element. Anytime and everywhere Wi-Fi is available, a student can be learning using the materials you've made available through Moodle. This is a crucial step toward moving learning beyond the walls of your classroom and beyond the hours of the school day. At this point, you should have an idea of what Moodle is and where it fits in Guilford County's personalized learning triangle, so it's a fair time to ask, what's in it for me? If you're a technology enthusiast, you're probably satisfied just to have some additional tools to add to your classroom. But there are at least two other big things that Moodle can do for you. The first is efficiency. Teachers are typically the bottleneck between students and resources. The teacher decides what the students need and then gives it to them at the right time. This stepping and fetching, however, is not a very value-added activity. It's also exhausting. With Moodle, however, students can access the resources they need without having to take the teacher away from more important activities. Moreover, students don't lose time at home if they don't bring home what they need. They can access it anytime and everywhere in Moodle. Last, the demands of parent communication are reduced because parents can look in at Moodle and answer many of their own questions. So, if you don't change anything about your instructional practices, just adding Moodle can buy you some time and effort by increasing everyone's efficiency. But don't be satisfied with that. The goal is to use these new tools to reach the bigger objective, personalizing our instructional practices. So, how can Moodle help you do that? By setting you free. In large group instruction, you probably do as much behavior management as you do instruction. And even if you're not managing behavior, it's not easy to reach the students who aren't getting it without wasting the time of those who are ready to move on. Moreover, just being on stage all day is exhausting. If you've tried small group or one-on-one instruction, You may have found that you do as much or more behavior management as when you're in a whole group. Sometimes you can't even get 3 minutes of uninterrupted small group instruction before someone from outside the lesson asks, "What do I do now?" Or, "Where can I get a copy of our next assignment?" Sound familiar? Well, this is where Moodle really helps you turn the corner. When the tools and resources students need are in Moodle, large group instruction can be greatly reduced. It won't be and shouldn't be eliminated, but it no longer has to be the primary method of instruction. You are now free to do quality, small group or individual instruction because the other students are actively engaged in independent practice, small group collaboration, or virtual instruction using your Moodle site. Why? Because what Moodle unshackles you from is students' dependency on you. You've moved from an environment where students need you for everything to an environment where they can do a lot for themselves on their own. It's not that they don't need you. You are the one who created this entire learning environment, and it's you who has your finger on the pulse. Without you as the inspired designer and facilitator of all of this, it would fall flat. But because students can do for themselves what they are capable of doing on their own, you are free to do the things that no one but you can do. Like remediating the students who are not getting it, extending the students who are, and nurturing relationships with hard-to-reach students for whom you are their last best hope. These are the things that made people like you and me once believe that teaching was a good investment of our lives, not managing behavior, not handing out resources, and not interrupting what matters to do things that really don't. Moodle can help you do that by unshackling you from student dependency. Good luck on the rest of your journey.